All right, well, let's get back in touch with bodybuilder Nick Scott. And Nick just got back from competing in the 2012 IFBB Pro Wheelchair Championships in Houston, Texas. And this is the only professional wheelchair bodybuilding show in the world for that particular category. Nick placed second this past year and almost beat the champion of last year. So we welcome the guy who's now officially the #2 best bodybuilder champ in the world, Nick Scott of Ottawa, Kansas. Nick, welcome back. It's great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, Ralph.
Talk about this competition. So IFBB, what does that stand for?
It stands for International Federation of Bodybuilding, the same status that Arnold Schwarzenegger is when he competed at the Olympia.
Yeah. How long ago was that? Do you keep track of Arnold, not only his political career, but his bodybuilding after he came out of that from Austria and began bodybuilding?
Yeah, I was a big fan of Arnold. I know he won it 7 times, and he did it 6 times in a row, and then he took some years to do his acting and everything. And then he came back and he won it again for the 7th, and he was done.
Right. How long have you been bodybuilding?
I've been bodybuilding since the fall of 2005, but I've been training for over 15 years.
Sure. Now tell us about, as we see the photos here, look at it. Is that amazing, folks?
That is amazing.
You were involved in an accident that put you in this wheelchair. When was the accident again?
It was in August of '98. I was ejected from my own vehicle and my own car hit me in the back.
Now, you began bodybuilding the upper strength after that accident. Were you a bodybuilder before, or is it something after the accident happened?
It was after the accident, because after my accident, I got really depressed. My weight went up to 300 pounds, and I was just depressed. And I just realized that when you hit rock bottom, that you at least have a rock. So it just goes from there.
Is the IFBB, Nick, we're with Nick Scott of Ottawa, Kansas, who's visiting us for about the 4th or 5th time on the show. We love having you come up. Jeremy does too. Is the IFBB, is that strictly a wheelchair competition, or is that one of the categories of the whole competition?
No, the IFBB is known all over the world because the I stands for international. So the Olympia, the same that Arnold competed at, it's actually the biggest show is the Olympia in Vegas, and that's held in the end of September every year. So the IFBB is just IFBB Pro Wheelchair is a division that's added to an IFBB Pro show.
All right. Okay, I want to show off Nick's stuff here. Denny, if you can come front and center here. If you'd like to know more about Nick Scott, the amazing story here, this is Journey by Nick Scott. There's his book. And we can get this on Amazon.com. He's pointing to Amazon and where fine books are sold, huh?
Yeah, and if you go on my website, nickfitness.com, you can get that as well as my training DVD and the movie that won Arnold Schwarzenegger's Film Festival.
Let's see, and here are the DVDs. Unleash the Beast, and the Nick Scott story on video is called Perspective. It's an awesome story, and you can get those from the website. Now, you're also doing fundraising for your next competition on your website, Nick, or where can people help you out financially?
Yeah, basically, in order for the wheelchair division to be added to the Olympian, there needs to be more IFBB Pro wheelchair shows around the world, about 4 to 5. So the fundraiser is basically for next year to bring about 2-3 shows. And if they go to wheelchair-bodybuilding.com, they can click on support the wheelchair division.
Wheelchair bodybuilding. We'll try to get some links on our 4 o'clock page, so it's to advance your type of competition to the next level.
Yeah, definitely. It's just the wheelchair division of the professional league.
Flex for us, bud, right here on this camera.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah. Nick Scott, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, take off your jacket. We can have a pose off, baby. Pose off, Ralph.
I've been working on it a little bit, but not as much as this guy. And hopefully you'll be back for the weather.
Yeah,
all right,
definitely.
with the weather. In a moment, Andrea Gilchrist says you can flex your muscle and be a really strong candidate for that job you really want. We'll talk some hot jobs with Andrea. Look at him go. This guy. Right after this break. Nick, thanks a lot for coming to see. How about a round of applause for Nick Scott?